Yes, people, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Pit Stop Lounge. We are your hosts, Sian and Malcolm, and this is episode number 2. How are you feeling, dude?
Alright, bro, thank you very much. Had a bit of a scare tonight as my internet for some weird reason got cut off, but luckily it is restored back again in short time, so thankful for that.
Yeah, thank God for that, actually, man. So, guys,
Because
before we
listen, bro, I was ready to record them on my phone, and it would have been horrendous, but luckily it's not the
yeah, but
case.
thank goodness that didn't happen, actually. So, yeah,
Thank
guys. So
goodness.
before we get into today's agenda, we have to start by saying thank you so much for those who tuned into our first episode. From us, it means so much to us because we're still new to this thing, and we came across a couple of issues as expected, obviously. So for us, it means a lot to us. As you can probably tell, I'm sounding a lot better than last time because my mic. A bit of a fun fact for this one, guys. So my mic decided literally that in the morning it was recording, it was working perfectly fine, but then in the evening it just decided to fuck everything up, and. I had no choice but to start, but obviously to have to record the episode with just my headset. But today, that's all changed. I'm all sounding good. So, what do you say? Want to get going?
Let's get this party started, shall we?
Yeah, guys. So for today's agenda, we will be reviewing each car launch from every single team. But before we get into that, we have a couple of news a couple of recent news that's hit the F1 scene over the past few weeks, which we thought that the Hamilton news was going to be like the only piece of news that we got, but
Guess not.
something even more shocking happened, dude.
The Horner experience, apparently.
Yeah. We're gonna get to that a little bit later on, guys. So guys, before one last thing as well, make sure if this is your first time in this channel, which I think probably it will be because it's only our second episode, make sure to give us a like, follow, and even a share on our Instagram and Facebook pages as well. We're also live on that, and also on Spotify. Show us some love by giving us a rating. It would mean so much to us because since obviously this is our first time as well. Alrighty,
Much appreciated. Much appreciated, man.
Yes, of course. So, guys, let's start with the recent news. Now, to kick things off, we have two circuits that have been extended for a couple of years. The first being Suzuka, which has been extended to 2029, and the second, which came just a few days later, Silverstone. It has been extended to another 10 years, which is massive news for the organizers, for the country as well, and even for Formula One in general. So yeah, no surprises here. I mean, it would have been complete madness removing these two circuits completely, because for me, look, Suzuka and
doubt.
Silverstone, they're a staple in Formula One as circuits. I mean, it's like literally for me, it's like removing Monza and Monaco in the calendar. It's like you can't remove these circuits from the calendar.
No doubt about that, bro. No doubt about that, bro. And I don't want them to be removed, to be replaced by street circuits. Just like what is expected to happen when Madrid comes in, and probably being replaced by Catalonia.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, even though Catalonia did redesign the circuit back to how it was, which is a welcome addition, but it's produced some boring races as of late. But still, I prefer to have a normal track like Catalonia than another street circuit. 100%.
Listen, I mean, we recently lost Sepang as well, the Malaysian Grand Prix, so we
what
never
was that,
won.
2015? What was that?
Yeah,
2015,
a couple of years ago. Yeah, exactly. But listen,
yeah.
I mean, we never.
And they still race there in MotoGP.
Yeah. 100%.
They still use that for MotoGP, which is crazy, but whatever.
No, 100% actually. But yeah, but listen, we never want any track to be removed from the calendar straight away. I mean, we've had a lot of circuits, unfortunately, that we lost in the past and present, and even very recently. So we're very, very glad that Suzuka
such as one of my favorites, Hockenheim, the German Grand Prix.
Yeah, man, they should bring
my
back, man.
I don't know why they removed that. Is it because of licenses? What is it? I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea as well, man. But
it is what it is.
They removed. I mean, one last thing about this: they remove these type of circuits, and then they leave like some circuits like Las Vegas, for example, which we all know that is all about the cash. Listen, I like Las Vegas, but I
Eh,
mean it's Vegas, baby. So, but yeah, I
eh,
mean, bring us like these iconic circuits back. So I'm very, very happy that Silverstone and Suzuka are going to be are going to stay in the calendar.
at least, at
Hoping for
least,
the more years
at
to come here
least,
as well.
at
All
least,
right,
at
so
least.
sorry, you want to say something, bro?
No, I was saying at least. Said at
Apologies about
least.
that. So our next concerns Alpine, which Bruno Famin, who you may all know was the interim CEO last season, starting from after the Spa Grand Prix, because obviously you know Otmar Spauner was sacked after the Belgian Grand Prix. He has now, Bruno
Rightfully so.
Famin has now been promoted to a permanent CEO of the team. So he now has the dual role of being not just the permanent CEO, but he's also the vice president of the Alpine Motorsports brand as well. So yeah, again, not surprising. I think Alpine, in my eyes, they went with with the safest option, in my opinion. Listen, I would have loved to see Gunter Steiner there, or another manager or another CEO there, but the market is very, very
What are the
limited at the
odds of
moment.
what are the odds of Gunter Steiner being there with Alpine next season?
No, no, the odds were very, very low, to be honest. But
No,
I
no, no,
mean,
not this season, not next season. 20,
not 25.
I could see, listen, bro. I could see it. It's Formula One. Weird shit happens, bro. It is what it is.
Do you think it's the right decision from Alpine though? Because
Why
I'm
not?
still I'm still a
Why
little bit
not?
skeptical about it. Yeah.
Why not? Gunter Steiner ain't the worst. Gunter
No.
Steiner flopped at Haas because he didn't get proper support from
Mhm.
Gene Haas. That's my opinion.
Yeah. No, no, about Bruno
And
Famin
anyways,
mostly. About Bruno Famin mostly. I mean, I think for me the Bruno Famin one, they took the safest option in my opinion. I think they didn't want to take the risky one, which is understandable because after the season they've had, you kind of understand that they went for him as well. Listen, I think they're seeing some optimism behind him as well, and which we will get to the car launch later on as well. Anything to add on this, bro?
not much. I already said
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
Gunter Steiner, about you mentioning Gunter Steiner. Possibly he could have been one of the
Mhm.
favorites, not favorites, one of the people mentioned instead
Mhm.
of Bruno Farman to
Yeah,
go in.
exactly.
But it didn't happen, and I'm maybe guessing it would be next year, but I don't know. And if they bring in Gunter Steiner, it would
Yeah,
be a good choice in my opinion. But
yeah,
I
yeah,
agree
exactly.
with you with Bruno Farman appointing Bruno Farman that it was the safest option because he's already in the Alpine family, so
Mhm.
promoting him into team principal, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, we hope for the best actually. So yeah.
That's always,
Um,
always hoping for the best.
So, up next, we got more information about Hamilton's move to Ferrari. Now, guys, before we get into the specifics, take this with a pinch of salt because right now there are rumors swirling around, not just about the Hamilton one, but even about the next thing we're going to talk about right after this. So, take everything with a pinch of salt because in realistically we there's little information about this, but we got some information. We got more information about this. The one thing we know, I mean, this is what we know so far. It's a multi-year contract, as we explained in the last episode. It is being reported it will be a 2-year contract with an option to extend for another year, so that would be 3 years. Um, Hamilton's base salary, you've coincidentally mentioned this to me in a previous conversation, bro. His
Yes,
base
sir, bro.
salary
Yes,
is
sir.
going to be between 80 to 100 million pounds, which for a 39-year-old is absolutely insane, by the way. I mean, no one. I
And
mean,
it's going to be the highest paid driver ever in Formula One history.
yeah, definitely, 100%. It,
It's going to be the
it is
highest
that.
paid Formula One driver in history. Well, listen, Ferrari, they got the cash. Hamilton is a mark, is like, what you call it, is a household name. He can't, Max Verstappen, the likes of Max Verstappen can't compete with him. They can be as good as him,
No,
if not better than him, but Hamilton has more of a marketable approach. And this is no
no,
disrespect to
absolutely.
somebody like Max Verstappen. Don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. But it is what it is. And apparently as well, he accepted the Ferrari contract. Not only that he wants to join Ferrari, but because they offered him apparently an ambassador role with the team.
Yeah, and this will be after his racing career is over. So
Hence why, because at Mercedes, he wanted the ambassador role, but Mercedes didn't want to, which is to me a bit odd, considering with what he had done with Mercedes. So it's
we will
weird.
get to the car
And
launch of
Ferrari.
So
So
sorry.
and with what was I about to say, man? What was I about to say? Okay, they offered him Mercedes. He wanted the ambassador role at Mercedes. And
Yeah,
they
exactly.
didn't want to give it to him. They didn't want to give it to him. And Ferrari straight up offered him, apparently, the ambassador role, and he accepted it.
Yeah, exactly. We will get to the car launch quite later on in the episode, but I believe that we will, in the coming days, weeks, months ahead, we will know more about this information about Hamilton to Ferrari as well. But I believe there is some sort of a bit of a breakdown in communication, I think, with Mercedes, hence the reason for him leaving. I mean, we will still obviously get to know more about this in the future, but what do you think?
Breakdown in communication. You know what? Before we started the podcast, a thought sprung into my mind. I can already envision this season. During a race, Hamilton and Leclerc have an accident on track. Everybody would go insane about it. Would be like, oh, this is a preview of what it's gonna be like when they're gonna be teammates. Everybody's gonna be like that. I can already envision it.
I mean, right now it's typical that we envision these type of.
I can already see it.
Mind. I mean, it's normal, but anyway, who knows? So we won't get out of point as well. Let's mention about this more about this information as well. So, regarding the ambassador, we covered that as well. Now, the main driving force. I mean, we all thought that Fred Vasseur was going to be was the man responsible for the move, but apparently, it is reported that John Elkann is responsible for this move. Who don't know who he is, by the way, he is the chairman of Ferrari. So he is the man the main driving force behind Hamilton's signing. They have a good off-track relationship together. So
apparently,
it seems that that's also one of the main reasons why he chose Ferrari for the move.
But I think it's always been on the cards for Hamilton to join Ferrari regardless.
Yeah, it is.
So
definitely.
I think it wasn't a matter of if, but it was more of a matter of when.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
everybody was still shocked. But it happened, and now it's gonna happen next season. Of course, we're looking forward to what's gonna happen this season, and just like I mentioned, I can already envision Leclerc and Hamilton having an accident on track.
The memes are already
Huh?
The memes are they're already circulating around the internet
so
as well.
I can already envision it.
Yeah.
And I'm ready for it. I'm already ready for it.
Oh.
But even though I'm still disappointed with Carlos Sainz, honestly, I'm looking forward to Hamilton in a red Ferrari suit.
Yeah, even me, I'm looking forward. But the thing is, I'm a bit worried that this whole drama, this whole shenanigans about this move is going to affect the entire 2024 season. I mean, we still have a whole season of racing. Winter testing is coming, preseason testing is coming up very, 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 very soon, the coming weeks as well. So I'm a bit worried that this whole drama is going to dominate the entire season as well, and we want to see racing. I mean,
it's going to dominate even more when Hamilton has one altercation with one of the Ferraris, or the other way around.
Definitely as well.
But I think at the moment, it kind of cooled down a bit. It cooled down a bit, honestly.
Yeah, right now, yeah, but listen,
it cooled down a bit.
Yeah, but listen, this is definitely not the last time we have heard of this as well, because this is going to be mentioned throughout the whole season as well. So it may cool down right now. It may cool down right now, but dude, give it a couple of races and they will start. They will start dominating. It will start being dominated again. Definitely.
No doubt about that, bro. No doubt about that.
Not about that as well.
No doubt about it.
And for me, that's where the timing of the announcement comes into play as well. As I mentioned in the previous episode as well. For me, I just didn't like the timing. The timing was so strange for that announcement. What do you think?
Very, 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 very strange. Very strange indeed. At least mid-season. But
yeah, I
it is what it is. At least mid-season, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, bro. I mean, it's happened now. Everyone shocked still about this, but I mean the process now. I mean the whole situation is as you mentioned before. Now it's starting
At
to
least,
cool
at
off a
least,
bit.
at least, at least, at least, it gives Carlos Sainz proper time to assess his options
And listen,
for
as well
next
for
season.
him and for Sainz as well, he has nothing to lose now with Ferrari. I mean, he can. I mean, this is it. It will be his final season now with Ferrari, so it's his choice now of how he will be performing this season. Is he going to go all out? Is he going to maybe take it a little bit easier than last season? I mean, I wish him all the best because obviously one of our former boys as well.
No doubt,
Again,
no doubt.
this whole thing was very similar to when he was with us as well because, in my opinion, he didn't have enough time. He wasn't given enough time. I think he was shown the door very very quickly as well. Even his announcement when he joined you guys, it came. I believe it came very early on in the season, or even before the season started as well. So we're seeing some familiar ground. Now, one last information about this Hamilton to Ferrari news is that originally now there was a report that said that Hamilton was going to bring a couple of people with him. One of those people was James Bonington, otherwise known as Bono. But now multiple sources have reported. Motorsport Italia is the main source who revealed the story that that his contract with Ferrari will have a no poaching clause, which will prevent him from enticing him with his race director or operations manager to follow him to another team. Now this happened in the past, and it looks like now they're finally seeing the consequences of this move. I mean, I agree with it, to be honest, because it's like you're already removing the competition straight away about this as well. I mean, what do you think?
Of course, I agree. Listen, taking going how do you put it? You're leaving the team, and I'm taking people with me to go to the rival. It's a bit sus. It's a bit sus. Of course, I don't want it to
It
happen,
is
and
suspicious,
so
yeah.
it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. I know
Yeah,
that Bono is
it's very
Lewis Hamilton's
suspicious.
right hand guy. Like, what is he gonna do next? He's gonna bring back Angela Cullen. He's gonna bring back Angela Cullen. What's next?
I mean, she's retired, I believe, Angela Cullen. So, I
Oh no!
mean,
Listen, she could come back just to don the red of Ferrari. Who
yeah.
knows? Who
And
knows?
one last thing about this Ferrari news. Now, again, take this with a pinch of salt. It's not 100% confirmed, but there was a post on X that. Sorry? Oh,
No, no, I'm just like
I'm confused about
I'm
that. No,
putting
no.
salt. Like I'm
Yeah,
putting
yeah.
salt.
Yeah, you have to put salt as well. So, Adrian Newey's wife wants him to join Ferrari. This was in a post. I mean, imagine him with Leclerc and Hamilton as drivers. I mean, they would literally dominate. Dominate. It will be the next dominant force in F1. We've had Vettel, we've had Hamilton, we're not having Verstappen. I mean, if he joins, I mean, obviously, again, this isn't 100% confirmed, but if he joins, man, then he can realistically dream of an eight-world title. I mean, you would
No doubt
absolutely
about that.
lose your
And
fucking
listen,
mind, bro.
of course, listen. Take example the car launches. The teams copy Red Bull, and then Red Bull eventually flip the script on the teams. They pull an Uno reverse card thanks to Adrian Newey's genius.
Yeah.
So,
And this isn't about.
and Adrian Newey would be the key force behind that. But who knows? Maybe now it's time. There was once upon a time where Adrian Newey was gonna jump ship to Ferrari, but that was like way back in 2011, I believe. When was it? Something like that.
I mean, somewhere in those years, yeah,
Somewhere in
definitely. I mean, there was still
2011,
a lot
and
of
he
that
was
time.
and he was ready to move, but Red Bull was always his home, and it is his home. But if he wants to jump ship, if he wants to come forth, welcome aboard, my G. It is what it
Yeah,
is.
definitely. I mean, he still has a lot of energy left, Adrian Newey. I
No
mean,
doubt, no doubt.
again, we'll get to the Red Bull's car launch very very soon about that. But
Yes,
speaking of
sir.
Red Bull, our last piece of information, last piece of news. I mean,
A Titan sponsor.
I don't listen.
It's empty though. It's empty.
Yeah, listen. I don't think that is the perfect time to show the bottle right now. I mean, you should have lived
Yeah,
in the car launch.
but you said speaking of Red Bull though,
Yeah,
and
definitely. But
that
listen,
doesn't show it.
yeah, listen. But I mean, we thought that the Hamilton news was going to be the most shocking. I mean, the Hamilton news was going to be like the most shocking or and random thing to come out of the paddock, but apparently no, because our boy Christian Horner, this dude is
It's
getting a bit horny, right? A bit too
listen,
horny because
listen. He been sipping that Max Verstappen champagne too much that it got to his head.
yeah, definitely. But in
He been
case you
sipping
don't
that
know,
Max Verstappen
guys,
champagne.
definitely.
It got to
But
his
listen,
head.
guys, in case you don't know about this, it's been going on around a couple of weeks now. Is that Christian Horner is being investigated by Red Bull, and the reason for that is there has been serious allegations of inappropriate behavior.
Yeah, so practically this is what's going down with Christian Horner. Yeah, practically this was going down. There's been allegations
Sorry about that, guys.
that within Red Bull that about sexual behavior regarding Christian
Yeah.
Horner. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah, about it. No, sorry about that, guys. Not because I had a bit of an issue there about that. But anyway, the whole thing. So you may be wondering how this has happened. So basically, how this came up was that um, there was a female employee who works at the Red Bull who works at Red Bull. Basically, she hasn't revealed what her role is. She hasn't revealed what her name is. Basically, but what happened was that back in December of 2023 this employee, she came forward with the allegations that Horner is basic. She was accusing Horner of sexually
Listen,
transgressive
listen.
behavior.
He was sliding in her DMs. What he's
Yeah,
practically trying to say.
I mean, God knows what. I
Ain't
mean,
that right, yeah?
I don't
He
want to
was
know what
sliding in her
happened, but God
DMs.
knows what.
He
You
was
may,
sliding
you
in her
may think that
DMs.
as well. Yeah, yeah. But
He
anyway,
was sliding in her DMs. It is what it is.
you I mean,
He was trying to get them
we want.
cheeks.
I don't want to know what type of DM he was sending, but anyway. And that's why he was very horny about that. But anyways, so oh my days, bro. Um, so this employee, anyway, get back to that. So this employee, she handed over text messages that they were showing these messages to the external lawyer that is investigating the Horner case. Now, all this news is being reported by a Dutch newspaper called The Telegraph, who obtained these messages. So, from these text messages between this employee and Horner, it has emerged that Horner has sent sexually oriented messages to the employee. And these weren't just one off messages, these were regular messages and over some period of time as well. It is also clear that Horner he did everything he could to keep this thing under wraps, but he failed, son, because because Red Bull knew about this. I mean, talk about completely out of the water, man. Obviously, now listen, he's still here. I mean, he is still there. He was there at the car launch, which that is the very next thing we will be talking about, by the way, Red Bull's car launch. But listen, Horner is still there. He has obviously denied these allegations that he hasn't made such of these things, but imagine him leaving before the start of the season. That would cause pandemonium, man. Regardless
No,
of
that
of
was
the
cause
other
huge
drivers there.
chaos
What do
within
you
the
think?
team. That would cause huge chaos within the team. And if Horner leaves, their title defense for both drivers and constructors, in my opinion, would be in jeopardy. In my opinion.
I mean, he's still here, obviously, but do you think this has impacted the teams yet? But we're talking about we're not talking about if he leaves the team, if he has left the team. But do you think that he
At the
has that he
moment,
has?
at the moment. Keep going. Tell me again. Say
Sorry,
again. Say again.
no, not yet.
Listen, bro. Has it impacted the team with these allegations? Honestly, bro, it's hard to tell right now. In my opinion, I think it's hard to tell right now. I don't
Yeah,
really
it
know
is.
because at the end of the day, all we have is rumors, and all we know is there's serious allegations that Red Bull themselves kickstarted. What happened? What's going on? We don't really know. but has it impacted them? I don't really know.
We'll get to that as well. The last thing we heard, obviously he was present in the car launch, but the last thing we
They
heard about
claim they of course they're gonna claim it didn't impact them. Of course they're gonna claim that, no doubt.
yeah, exactly.
But for us, it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
It's pretty hard
definitely.
to tell.
I mean, the last thing
I think a couple of races in, then we'll get to see maybe if something's brewing. But at the
this
moment,
will
it's pretty
continue to
hard to
brew,
tell.
definitely. This will definitely continue brewing in the coming weeks. I mean, this is just like the Hamilton, just like the Hamilton news. This isn't the
Yeah,
last time the last time we've heard from this, definitely.
no doubt.
The last thing the last thing we had any updates about this was that last week he had a meeting with the external barrister, and that's pretty much how that's all we know so far. Basically, now Helmut Marko, again similar to Christian Horner, no silent treatment, nothing to say from his regard as well. I mean, I'll be
As
happy
if,
about this, definitely.
as if he's gonna talk. Helmut Marko, the prick. Of course,
I
as
mean,
if he's gonna talk. As if.
he has showed in the past. He has showed in the past that he obtains the silent treatment with his drivers and his staff
Does he?
as well.
Does he though? Does he though? Because he
Uh,
tends to speak quite boldly about the second drivers.
yeah,
Take
I
for
mean,
example Alex Albon, Pierre Gasly, sometimes Sergio Perez.
Sergio
You
Perez,
never
yeah,
see him
right.
say shit about Max Verstappen. I mean, not because there's anything bad to say about Max Verstappen, but he rarely gives optimism to the second driver.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Helmut Marko. That's Helmut Marko for you. I don't like him. I never liked him. He always
No, I
talks
mean,
gibberish.
he isn't the most likable dude on the paddock. Let's be honest
Yeah,
here.
and he's someone that you should, with whatever he says, you take with a grain of salt.
No, definitely, yeah. But he's ruthless. He is fucking ruthless, bro.
A prick, ruthless, a prick, and you can take everything he says with a pinch of salt.
I mean,
Regardless,
yeah,
he's a prick. He's a prick.
yeah,
He's a
exactly.
prick. Anyways,
Yeah, that's pretty much it for the news. I mean, I mean, wow. I mean, the season hasn't started yet, but what a start we've had, man. I mean, I mean, this hasn't been this wide and chaotic in God
this is
knows
like E
when, man.
Entertainment, bro. This is like This is like keeping up with the Kardashians on E Entertainment.
I can't even compare it to the Kardashians, bro. I mean, I don't want to
This
get
is
into
like
the
keeping up with the.
discussion, but
This
it's
is like
like
this is like E Entertainment settings. This is how it's like E Entertainment
box office
settings,
stuff, man.
and I like it.
I mean, this week I mean, this is like that. I mean, this week we've had our first trailer for the newest season for Drive to Survive. I mean, it has more drama than the previous seasons of Drive to Survive because, I mean,
And by the way,
it's insane.
Max Verstappen ain't seen anywhere on the trailer, not even on the Netflix poster.
Yeah, but I
So
think he will have an
probably.
episode on that.
No, I don't think if he's not in the poster, bro, he's the world champion. How can he not be at least on the poster?
I mean, he isn't the guy to go to for media as well. I mean,
But he's the world champion.
yeah, he should be.
He's the
Yeah,
world champion. At
he
least be on
should
the
be.
poster. If he's not at least on the poster, that means that he's not going to be in the show. Sorry, in the
Yeah,
season.
definitely. All right,
And that's what I think.
yeah, definitely. All right, so that is pretty much the news, and we're now going to get into, right on the 30-minute mark, we are going to get into the meat of the episode, which is car launch season, ladies and gentlemen. We are pretty much now in preparations. Preparations now are in full swing for the 2024 season. Now we've got the car launch. Every team has launched their car. Now, this episode is called Carbon Fiber Mania, and the reason why this episode is called that because every fucking car, with the exception of two cars, are literally carbon fiber. Every single car, dude. I mean, literally it is Carbon Fiber Mania, and the reason for that is because of the regulations.
Apparently.
It's because of the regulations and because of the environment reasons as well. But the main reason why they are all carbon fiber is because of the regulations. What do you think about this, bro? Do you agree with the carbon fiber used in
Absolute
these cars?
bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Because they
And
produce a lot of heat.
yeah, but carbon fiber, it's not really carbon fiber. It's more like black paint more than carbon fiber, to be exact.
And
It's
most
more
of
black.
these cars, sorry?
It's more black than carbon fiber. It's like the F1 governing body or whatever told them, listen guys, another season, design your liveries and all, but paint 50% of the car. Good luck.
Yeah. And we're gonna get to every single car launch, by we're gonna get to every single car livery as well. But most of these cars are very very similar. I mean, we only mentioned two. We've only mentioned two teams that haven't gone with a carbon fiber paint job as well. But right now we have no idea how these cars are gonna perform on the track. I mean, we have a couple of teams. We all know. I mean, the
Predictions?
first one we're gonna get to, we have an idea how they're gonna end up, but so far we don't have an idea how these cars are going to perform on the track. So what we're going to do with this is very similar to last time around, but instead we're going to do it in reverse. We're going to start with the car that had the latest launch, which is Red Bull, just yesterday evening at 8 p.m. And we're going to walk, and there is our product's placement as well. And we're going to end with Haas that have launched the card. We're gonna end with Haas basically, who got the first launch.
Who launched the
Um,
first car? Who launched the car
got the
first?
first car
Back
as
in
well.
February 2nd, 2nd of February, I believe.
On the filming of our first episode, bro.
Exactly.
That is when the car got launched.
Exactly.
Yeah. Anyway, but and then lastly, and then afterwards, we're gonna rank them from worst to best. We're not gonna give like a specific rating out of 10. We're just gonna rank them from worst to best. So, we're gonna start with Red Bull, who launched the car, who had the car that had the last launch. Pretty late announcement as well, bro. 8 p.m. We thought it was gonna be releasing much earlier, but they left it late. And yeah, I mean, what do you think, bro? I mean, it looks cut and paste, literally.
Well, listen, that's Red Bull every season for you. That's Red Bull
Yeah.
every season, that they have the same livery, or at least a that much similar livery, and they leave it late that they're the last team to announce, because what they like to do is, since they're the dominant car, they let the other teams copy them, and then basically they pull a Uno reverse
Yeah.
card on the other teams, and they be like, just so you copied us from last season doesn't mean that we're gonna pull the same tricks. We're gonna pull a trick on you that you basically copied us for nothing, because we're back better than ever. And probably this is what's gonna happen as well this season. So it is what it is.
Yeah, but now, ironically enough, they revealed the car in Silverstone. They revealed the full design of the RB20 in Silverstone, but they got the final reveal of the car just yesterday evening. But for my because when this news broke, when obviously they launched the car, me and you were having a discussion literally of how
Yeah,
we're gonna plan this episode out. But and my first impressions was that the livery, it's exactly the same as last season.
it is.
There's
It is exactly
the
the same.
car looks very very similar to last season. The only slight difference there is on the side pods. Basically, the color scheme is very very.
Yep.
It's pretty much copy and paste from last season. And listen, with regards to Red Bull, I mean, after the season they've had, they couldn't really. I mean, they still had they still an evolution of a car with the RB20, but after the season they've literally won almost every single race. All they have to do is just to increase the momentum of the car, and obviously with the drivers they have as well. But it looks like, yeah, listen, design wise, when
I,
if
th- I,
it's
think, I think they made some subtle tweaks. They did make some subtle tweaks with
yeah
the side pods. For example, a lot of the teams copied their side pod design, like the
yeah
inlets.
definitely.
Now Red Bull decided to flip it and went with a vertical inlet underneath, which was last used back on the cars back in the 90s, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Of course, they went with a different design on the nose cone. They went with the design with the cannons, like that there's
Yeah, definitely.
in the engine cover. That's basically it. So I think it's more of a evolution than a revolution, I think. And
Yeah,
apparently they
definitely. No,
copied
it's not
Mercedes from last year as well, which
no,
I
it's
didn't really notice, to
but
be honest.
yeah, and listen, I mean, we don't really have anything to say with regards to Red Bull. I mean, it's very,
I
very
like the
similar.
livery. But in terms of livery, I like it. I like it though.
I mean, it's
Fuck them,
not.
but I like it.
I mean, Red Bull have a reputation of not being creative when it comes to liveries. They mostly repeat them. The only part where they are creative is when they release their one-off liveries for some races. That is when that is when they are very creative. I mean, I remember they had one race where, and it was, I think, the American, the Texas Grand Prix, I believe it was. They went with an all white, with an all white livery. It was beautiful. I loved it, man.
I remember they did a livery. I believe it was back in 2021, when they used one on all white for Suzuka.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was fire. That was fire.
Yeah, straight up,
That livery
man.
was
But
lit.
I mean, I believe as we're gonna mention it. We're going back to the Christian Horner. We're going back to the Christian Horner allegations. I believe that has also taken over the car launch, in my opinion, as well, because of the timing of the announcement as well.
All eyes were on him, no doubt.
But listen, he's staying there.
For now,
I mean,
at least.
with regards to Max and Checo, it looks like all it's everything. It's normal service resumed from their eyes as well.
Business as usual.
I mean, overall, it's. I mean, with Red Bull, we all know what's going to happen. I mean, it's going to be a pretty much another dominant season from them. I mean, I think Adrian Newey has once again, I think, has performed his magic as he has always done every single year, pretty much.
He practically listen. Practically, he pulled another Uno reverse card on all the teams.
Yeah,
that tried to
definitely.
copy them from last season.
I
That's
mean,
what
everyone.
he did. That's what they did.
I
at
mean,
least.
I mean, a lot of people now are saying that they're going to win every single race this season. But listen, let's just not jump into conclusions straight away. I mean, anything can happen. I still believe. I mean, I still believe that they won't replicate last season. I think it's very, very difficult to replicate a season like they've had before.
Yeah.
I hopefully, obviously, with the other teams, they can recover some ground. Hopefully as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, Red Bull.
In terms of livery, though, it's similar, but it's still likable.
It's not creative. I'll have to be honest. It isn't the most creative livery out there. But listen, I mean, for Red Bull, it's all about performance. I mean,
Exactly.
we will get to know.
At least it's not flooded with carbon fiber.
No, that is also, I mean, a favor.
So at least it's not flooded with carbon fiber, which is a plus.
Yeah, as well. I think for Red Bull, it's business as usual. I believe, for them. I mean, nothing really too significant to add about that. What do you think, bro? Anything to add on this?
Nothing more, really. Nothing more.
Yeah. All right. So we now move to Mercedes, which launched their car on Valentine's Day alongside McLaren. So Mercedes engines, they're a bit of a love present for the fans as well. Now, listen, Toto Wolff said that the car was going to be a complete revamp of last season with the W15. And from my first impressions, it certainly looks like a complete revamp as well. I mean, first of all, let's start with the livery. Gorgeous. For me, the mix of silver and black, it suits it, man. I mean, it really, really is. You don't agree with it?
To be honest, bro, it may be a bit reminiscent of the 2005 McLaren, but honestly, I'm not really a big fan of it. It might grow on me over time, but I'd much rather prefer it was either all silver or all black, preferably all silver. I like the touch of red where there's where they put the T-cam, the touch of red for Niki Lauda.
That is quite divided, actually.
I like that. It puts like what you call it. It sets it off a bit.
Yeah.
But when from silver to black, the fade, it doesn't stick out to me. I'm gonna be honest.
Shiny as well, to be honest. I mean, it gives.
It is reminiscent of the 2005 McLaren, like I said, but I don't know.
More towards the late 90s. For me, it's more towards the late 90s of Mika Hakkinen.
I don't know. All right. Well, 2005, 2002, 1998, 2005, they still had the same livery. McLaren changed their livery back in 06, 07, when Montoya first joined them. because
definitely.
that's when they changed their livery. They went with the Vodafone when they
And
still had the West title sponsor.
definitely. Going back to that red star on top, it is obviously in remembrance to Niki Lauda, who was a major part of Mercedes before he sadly passed away. Legendary driver, by the way, rest in peace to him.
Yep.
Ik, for me, I'm a bit more on the outside for that. I don't really. I think it goes a bit out of place with the color scheme of the car. What do you think?
How do we put it? Say again. Say again because I didn't really
It looks a bit
understand,
out
bro.
of place, the red star, I believe.
Actually, I quite like it.
Hmm.
It gives it a bit of a tone. I don't. I'm not a bit of a. I'm not a fan of the silver fading to black.
Yeah.
It's not ugly. It's not ugly. It's not ugly. It
No.
looks good, but it didn't really hit with me.
Hmm.
That's my
No, for me,
opinion.
no, for me straight away. I was a fan of it. I was a big fan of it straight away. With that.
It might grow on me over time, but I don't know.
I think it might grow. I think it might. I think it might. You have to give it
I
a
think
chance. I mean,
it might grow.
I think we'll have to see it on track now, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. No doubt.
Obviously, this is the final car that Hampton's going to drive for
Yes.
Mercedes because he's saying to Ferrari as well. So, um, um, I think for him, I think it's very similar to Sainz. It's not really a make or break season for now him anymore with this car, so he can literally drive at his own pace for me as well. But obviously, it depends on him as well. The question is also how competitive that car is going to be because. I
It's
mean,
always.
before that announcement happened, it was already going to be a major season for Mercedes. But now, obviously, with Hamilton leaving, that raises even more questions about how competitive this car actually is. I mean,
Yeah.
I really can't wait to see how this car would perform, honestly, because if it really is dog shit, which is I presume, because it's one of the reasons that Hamilton is leaving. I mean, we'll find out as well. Let's hope that they've learned from their mistakes because the past two seasons, because of the regulations, they suffered badly.
Both, most definitely, especially the first season with the new regulations back in 22.
Yeah, definitely about that. I mean,
It's alright
I
though.
think this
As a
is. I mean,
livery, it's
one last point
alright,
about
I
Mercedes
guess.
as well.
Not a huge fan of it. It's not ugly, but it's alright.
The colors, the one you don't like the most.
No, I like the colors. The colors are okay. What I don't like is the silver fading to black.
Hmm.
I'd much rather if it was all silver. For example, the
I
2022
believe.
livery, that is proper
Hmm.
Mercedes Benz
Hmm.
to me.
No, no, I believe the combination of colors really was a nice touch. I mean, if this is what they really wanted to go for a complete revamp for our first impressions, I was quite impressed with it, to be honest. And then now I'll obviously rank it quite later on, but yeah, overall, with regards to liveries and appearance wise, is great. I think it should be in my top five as well. Compared to obviously there's the carbon fiber thing with the car as well, but
Yep.
overall impressed. First impressions wise impressed. But I have to obviously I can't wait for how this car will run because I'm very intrigued to see
Yeah.
specifically after Hamilton announcing his departure. Exactly. So on the same day as well, McLaren have announced revealed their car as well. Now, funnily enough, we actually revealed our livery way before everyone else in January as well. So we got our first look at this. So realistically speaking, like we are the first team to get the car get the car to car launch as well because we don't wait for anyone, man. We just literally just send it out straight away
You tried to
as
go
well.
gung ho,
We went
practically.
gun ho straight away. But yeah, this is where the carbon fiber comes into play here because it is very noticeable. I mean, comparing to last season, um, we're obviously back to our papaya colors, and I think we're going to remain with those papaya colors for many seasons to come as well. The MCL38, very similar to last season. The only difference, the only real slight difference there is that the blue part on the side pod is completely gone now. Now it's all just black. What do you think about it? Do you like it?
To be honest, it looks okay. as a design with the strips, like going like
Yeah,
this, that's okay. But I think it's like a black car with orange accents around it.
yeah,
That's
it
what it's like.
is.
That's what it's like.
It's a
Because
proper McLaren car, to be fair.
there needs to be a bit more orange. For example, I remember the 2018 McLaren. I like the 2018 McLaren. I like
Yeah,
last season's McLaren. Now it feels like a black car with orange accents. It's like a Mercedes, but instead of silver, it's orange. That's how
yeah,
it's like. That's how I see it.
definitely.
It's not the worst. I still like it, but I expect a lot better.
It
I
is
expect a lot
somewhere in the
better from
middle of the pack
McLaren.
as well. But for me, yeah, it is quite middle of the road with this launch as well. But for me, the most important thing about this is to continue our momentum from last season. Now, we actually didn't mention this in our first episode, but Rob Marshall and David Sanchez, their roles at McLaren. Now, if you don't know who are these guys, they are key technical findings from Red Bull and Ferrari, so it's going to help us. They're pretty much up top with their roles as well, so they're going to hopefully help us with the momentum of the team as well. But the funny thing about this is they're saying that the car is all set, that it has been improved from last season. But Andrea said at the same time, he has gone out and said, and I quote from his quote, basically he said that there are a number of innovations on the car, but not all the areas we want to address have been completed for a non-spec car. So that tells me that they haven't learned from their they haven't learned from last season, and it looks and for me, I'm assuming that the car isn't fully 100% done. So this tells me that we're gonna see a very similar outcome when it comes when we get to Bahrain. I hope that doesn't happen, obviously, but I'm a little bit skeptical on that. Well, I mean, you were pissing yourself, Mike, with laughing about this.
Nah, just to see you mad. That's why.
It's not mad. I'm more to the point of just frustrated.
You could say
I'm
that. You could
just,
say that.
I mean, I'm more frustrated about that. But yeah, um, and very similar to McLaren as well. We also pull off one-off liveries as well with a couple of races. So expect that to happen in some races. And for the most part, our one-off liveries are stunning to look at.
I am. Which race was it? You pulled up
Monaco,
with the
Monaco.
triple crown livery. Was it?
Exactly. I completely forgot,
I
but
don't remember which race, but I know it was the triple crown livery. It had some white in it.
yeah, definitely. And we had one in Monaco as well. It was beautiful, man.
What was it the Gulf livery?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah, the
God.
Gulf livery was nice. The Gulf livery was nice, but I did like the triple crown though. The triple
Yeah.
crown livery was
I mean,
nice. I like that.
Golf are no strangers to gorgeous to gorgeous liveries. So yeah,
No doubt, no doubt.
yeah. Your overall thoughts on McLaren is that they're saying that they have everything in place, but that Andreas comment concerns me a bit that we might see a repeat of last season. And with regards to the overall design, it looks quite similar to last season. I mean, most of these cars look very similar to last season, with some obviously with some couple of upgrades and stuff like that as well. But it looks similar. The carbon fiber, the amount of carbon fiber on the body of the car, it is a little bit distracting for me. But at the same time, it is reflecting our own papaya colors as well. If I would rank it, it would be somewhere in the middle of the road. There are 5, 6 better teams, in my opinion, that have gone off with a gorgeous design than our team as well. And that's
Similar design, but worse.
worse, I don't know, to be honest. But the fact they remove
Similar,
that blue line, I agree
similar
with
design,
it.
but worse in my opinion.
That blue line as well. Um, I think that's pretty much it on McLaren.
Pretty much
Ferrari,
it.
Ferrari,
Oh, Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Okay,
Listen,
listen. Ferrari fam, Ferrari. They always produce the goods. Ferrari rarely miss with
the
deliveries.
beauty pageants of launches, in my opinion.
Even though I'm gonna be honest, yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a fan of the new livery for the season. Even though I do prefer last season's livery still.
It's because the fact that there isn't any black.
Yes, the black and the red really match well together. I still love this season's livery, don't get me wrong. I love the red wheel covers, I love the red and yellow stripes within. Love it. And there's not much black going on, which is absolutely great. There's more red than black,
It's one
which
of the
is
teams that has zero carbon fiber as well. Sorry to
which
interrupt you
is
there, bro, but it
no,
looks like
thank
that this
goodness.
and really, I mean, carbon fiber on a Ferrari, it's blasphemous. I mean, you can never fuck that car with so much carbon fiber sprinkled around the body, man. It just doesn't work.
I think if you sprinkle some carbon fiber on it, though, I think it would still look good. That's my opinion. I don't
I
know.
don't know, man, about that. No, I mean,
It depends. It depends on where they put the carbon fiber, though.
yeah, definitely.
It depends on where they
Um,
put the carbon fiber.
But listen, I think with Ferrari, they always, when it comes to car launches and liveries, they're always at the top of the game.
No doubt.
And this year is no exception again. I
No
mean,
different.
what I love about this car is the simplicity of it, man. It's just that red, the fact that for me, I agreed. I agreed with the fact that they removed the black parts in the body. Sorry for stuttering there. And the resemblance of yellow that actually resembles their Le Mans car way back, basically. So that's a really nice touch as well. And even their overalls, they really suit the car as well. Even like the wheel overalls with the color with
They
the
match.
colors
They
as
match
well.
perfectly, man. They match perfectly.
They match. It's
Even
perfect,
though I
man.
prefer last season's livery, even though I prefer last season's livery, for me it's still the best looking car on the grid for this season, no doubt.
Yeah, for me, yeah,
Not to be
it has
biased,
to be.
not to be biased, but to me,
No, listen. No, listen. I'm not. I mean, I'm McLaren. Obviously, I banter Ferrari whenever there's the opportunity as well. But when they get their A game right, I
same
have
here.
nothing but praise but them. And when it comes to their launches, they always stand at the top of the class every single time, and they never disappoint. This for me, this has to be a major contender for the best looking car on the grid.
It is
There's
to
another
me. It
team.
is to me. It is.
There's another team we will get to very soon, but for me, it's stunning. That Ferrari is gorgeous, man. Have you noticed any similarities when it comes to the side pods, maybe, or any upgrades to the car? Obviously, we have no idea how this car is going to perform as well, because we will get to that information on testing wise. Do you notice something or not so much?
What I noticed is near the halo they added like a piece for the
Yeah,
airflow
yeah,
near the halo. That's what I
definitely.
see. Now I don't know if that's illegal or not, but it could prove to be genius.
It could be, yeah,
It could prove to
absolutely.
be genius aerodynamically. Now, in terms of the rest, I don't know. Maybe in the front wing on the nose cone, they went one layer upwards with the nose cone. I
Yeah,
think they revamped the side pods a bit, especially with the letterbox
yeah,
style inlet. Similar again to Red Bull last season, and then Red Bull done and did
mm,
a Uno reverse card on everyone. But apart from that, in terms of livery, I like it. Looks great, even though I still
yeah, absolutely, 100% agree on that. I mean, I'm very, very relieved that they didn't add carbon fiber on that Ferrari. I mean, you can
thank
never
goodness.
ruin a Ferrari. You can never ruin a Ferrari,
Bro,
man.
if they ruin a Ferrari, whoever designs it should be sacked
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
immediately.
Yeah. Okay, so that's Ferrari. So we're now halfway into the launches, and this is a perfect time to tell you guys that we have just launched a YouTube. We're now available on YouTube. So because I got some feedback that a couple of people don't have Spotify, and I think it would be best and it was best for us to start a YouTube channel as well. So the first episode is available now, and this episode is going to be also available to watch on YouTube as soon as this goes up. So same rules follow. Like, share.
Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that subscribe button like you're hitting the
It
DRS button.
Yes, it would mean so much for us, guys. It would mean absolutely so much for us. And also, guys, again, a reminder: if this is the first time you're here, give us a like, follow on Instagram and Facebook, and the same
So,
goes
again,
Spotify as
subscribe
well.
on YouTube.
Yeah, and YouTube as
Subscribe on
well.
YouTube.
Very
Make sure
important.
you hit that subscribe button like you're hitting the DRS. Make
Yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Hit that DRS as soon as possible. When you hit
Hit
that
the
subscribe,
DRS
the
and
DRS is
notifications on as well.
yeah, definitely. Okay, Aston Martin. There's really nothing there's not a lot of things to say about Aston Martin because if it ain't broke, don't
Don't
fix it.
fix it.
Because this car looks the fucking same as last season, man. Their
So
AMR 24. It's also I think they're taking some ideas from Red Bull here as well. Yeah, I mean,
all the teams took ideas from Red Bull last season.
but
All
Aston
of the
Martin
teams.
specifically.
But Aston Martin took a lot of parts from Mercedes
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
Of course, they're their engine supplier, so it is expected.
yeah, definitely. Um, ooh, excuse me about that. Yeah, I mean, listen, this striking green color, it's a match made in heaven for me when it comes for Aston Martin as well.
It's their brand
Um,
color.
Sorry,
It's their brand color.
it's their brand color as well. And even their launch itself was very, very brief. I mean, there really isn't anything else to add on Aston Martin. I mean, the fact that it looks exactly the same as last season, there's barely any difference. I mean, you literally do a side-to-side comparison. I mean, this also counts with Red Bull as well. I mean, with Red Bull and now with Aston Martin, it looks copy and paste literally. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Yet again, anything to add, bro?
Practically. Not really much. I mean, it's similar to last season. They copied some stuff from Mercedes. Of course, they copied some stuff from Red Bull, like every other team. But again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Nothing much really to add on Aston Martin. Hoping for the best. Hoping to see Alonso win in it. Of course, I want to see that two-time world champion win, that Wolf win in an Aston Martin, as he previously stated that he wants to win in an Aston Martin. So
And speaking of Fernando Alonso, this his contract runs out in the end of the year.
yes,
So
sir.
they're saying he's been linked to a Mercedes move. I'm not sure that's gonna happen, but I mean, you can never tell in Formula One.
I think it depends on how he goes this season. Listen, this season there's gonna be the most races in a calendar year ever.
24 races, man.
Alonso is what, like 42 years old?
42,
Yes,
43, yeah.
yes, he stated that he's fitter, he's more nutrition than ever, but it gets to you. Formula
Yeah,
One
definitely.
ain't like it was back in the day. They're basically training like athletes nowadays. I hope he stays because he's a wonderful driver to watch, but we'll have to wait and see. Of course, if he does go to Mercedes instead of Hamilton for next season, it would be
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
And of
definitely.
course,
I
Alonso's
mean,
here in Formula One to win, like every other driver.
yeah, 100%. That's pretty much it when it comes to Aston Martin.
Basically, to sum up Aston Martin, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, definitely. Very,
That's
very
practically it.
simple, very straightforward. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Whew,
Next team,
Alpine,
the worst.
Alpine. Jesus Christ,
The
man.
worst. The worst.
Listen, I mean, they said, I mean, Bruno Famin said that their car was going to be like a complete revolution from last season's after disappointment from season. But listen, straight up, this is the worst looking car on the grid. It is literally the A524 is literally a concept car. It's 95% carbon fiber. It looks hideous, bro.
95.
Too dark.
It's basically a concept car. That's how it's it. That's what it is. It's basically a concept car.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, ironically, this is the only team that has gone with two liveries because with their base livery, which is just the dark blue and the carbon fiber bullshit, they're gonna race with that livery for 16 races. The last eight, then the remaining eight races, they're gonna use like a basic pink livery. You can look it up if you want, but even the pink livery, it looks quite off for me, man.
Of course, they're using the pink stripes because of their sponsor BWT.
Yeah, yeah, no, I
That's
agree
why
with
they're
that
using
as
that.
well, but.
That's why they're using that. But it's still, it doesn't match. It don't go together.
No, man, it doesn't go together. And we're already hearing a couple of rumors that they're gonna have a bit of a setback this season as well. So that if they really wanted to have a complete revolution with that car, that's not how things go.
Nah, nah, it's absolutely horrendous. I expect a lot more. Where there's the black, there should be blue.
Yeah,
I don't
man.
know who made this decision. It looks like a concept car to me.
No,
Absolutely
no, it
horrendous.
doesn't look like it.
I don't even want want to talk about the aerodynamic things BS that they did because it's horrendous. I think the best thing that they did is the shape of the wheel covers,
Yeah,
the color of the wheel
yeah.
wheel
I mean,
covers. That's the
I
best
mean,
thing about it.
for me, it's absolute. For me, it's absolute. It's absolutely useless if you're gonna just gonna show off the aerodynamics and the engine, because for me that's the aerodynamics is where it's one of the major improvements that they have to fix on with the car. But useless of
Actually, bro, I disagree. I think it's the power unit where they
the
really
power,
need to
no, the power
fix.
unit, absolutely no. I'm not gonna rule that out. That definitely. I mean, the Renault engine is the main for me. It's the main factor that they have to fix on as well. But yeah, I mean, if
It's
for me
garbage.
it's sorry.
It's garbage.
Skype's terrible, man. If
Garbage,
this
bro.
is really if this is how they want a complete revolution of the car, that's not how you think start up. And listen, I'm a bit pissed off with Alpine because I want them to have a much better season than last time around. Because
Practically, the Alpine is a rotten baguette.
yeah, it is, it
That's
is
what the
absolutely.
Alpine is. It's a
It's
rotten
use,
baguette.
it's useless mentioning the specs of the car, what has or what doesn't have, and you haven't even gone and you haven't even published your set times on testing, because that is the first signs will show definitely.
Absolute BS.
Yeah.
Now, I want to clear
Now
it. I want to clear Alpine.
To summarize Alpine, it looks
I think you already. I think y'all already have an idea on where Alpine is going to be on our list.
yeah,
Practically.
yeah, definitely. Nah, man, it's
Anything to add
for
on
me.
Alpine, bro?
Yeah, we ended there, man. Easily the worst car on the worst looking car on the grid, and it's not how you should. I mean, that's not how you should start your new season with. Absolutely not. Um, uh, next,
Garbage.
next we will be talking about Williams.
Williams. Oh, I mean,
Williams.
again.
Now, listen, this is getting it's getting quite a lot of love online, but for me, at first I thought, wow, it looks really on point with the dark blue cars. But then I started to look at it again. I started to look at it in quite extensive detail. I don't know, man.
Look, from a shape design, it looks good. It does look good. What I love the most is that where there's the T-cam, there's the Duracell
Yeah,
sponsored, like
that's
a
a nice
battery.
touch actually.
That,
That's a
that,
very
that,
unique touch.
that looks cute. I can't lie. That does
Yeah, it
look
is.
cute.
It is cute.
But it looks a bit too, what you put it,
Carbon fiber,
mature.
man. It's
No,
two carbon fiber
mature.
as well. Very dark colors as well. I mean,
It looks too
this is where the
mature.
carbon fiber comes into play, yeah?
Yeah, it does. But not as much as Alpine, of course. But it's a
No.
bit too mature.
Yeah, I mean, and Golf is one of the major sponsors as well, so I'm
Yeah.
kind of surprised about that.
At least the golf sponsor
Yeah,
puts it out there a bit, so
yeah.
it's a welcome addition. Again, the golf livery, the Duracell on top look great. At first, the Komatsu sponsor, and I swear to God, I thought it said Kamatsu.
Yeah, I
Hayao
mean,
Kamatsu.
that,
I
that, that
thought
that's
it said
actually
Kamatsu, bro.
that is actually a thought that's one of my thoughts I've actually had. I mean, is Gamatsu working in disguise with Williams? I mean, he's working as a double agent like Sam Fisher, man. I mean, it looks exactly like that, I
When I
think.
first saw that sponsor on the side, I'm like, what the fuck? They put Ayao Kamatsu, the Haas team principal there. Like, what
Double
they
agent
do?
settings, bro.
But then it said Komatsu, and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
They even tweeted about it, no?
Yeah,
Haas
they
even
did.
tweeted about it. Haas even tweeted about
I
it.
saw a
Why
tweet
did you?
about that actually.
Yeah, why did they put? They said, why did you put our team principal's name on your
Yeah,
sideboard?
definitely. No, with Williams though, I mean, and the irony is that their overalls, the driver's suits overalls, they look actually really nice. But the thing is, they don't really match the design of the car. It for me, the carbon fiber fucks it up again. I mean, it really ruins the whole thing for me again.
I like the shape of the car.
No,
I
the
like the
shape,
shape
yeah,
of the livery, but overall. Not much, not
it's
much.
getting
Similar to the previous 3 seasons. The last time I really liked the Williams livery when was George Russell's last season
yeah,
with
definitely,
Williams. That was the last
yeah.
Williams livery I really liked. It's not the worst, not like Alpine's, but
It's
nah.
too dark. It's too dark for me.
Exactly.
And I mean, we will get to the We will get to our predictions in our next episode as well. But again, this is another team that I expect to have more momentum for this upcoming season as well. So I'm very quite intrigued to see how this Williams car is going to perform as well. So yeah, I mean that should pretty much wrap it up with Williams. Yeah.
Yep, no doubt.
So up next is Red Bull's sister team, which was AlphaTauri last season, and now it's called Racing Bulls Visa Cash App. Jesus Christ, bro. I mean, you said in the previous episode that Martin Brundle. I mean, you couldn't even imagine Martin Brundle and David Croft saying those words. I mean, that name. Fuck's sake, bro. It looks
Sounds
bizarre.
horrible. It sounds horrible. It sounds horrible.
But listen,
The only silver lining there is with the car.
yeah, the car. I mean,
Car is the only silver lining, reminiscent to the Toro Rosso
yeah,
that we all know and love, and
listen.
it looks absolutely stunning.
Yes, I mean they might have a terrible name, but they nailed the design of the car. That car looks gorgeous, man. I mean,
Toro Rosso of
that is Toro
yesteryear.
Rosso. It's Toro Rosso all over again, man. I mean, it's very similar to the.
Yes.
It's
Easily the second best livery on the grid. Right after Ferrari.
It could challenge Ferrari, to be honest.
But I don't know, but second at least. Actually, second for sure.
And it battles Ferrari, I think. But yeah, what I love about this design so much is that the fact that there is no carbon fiber again.
Yep, no doubt. Similar with Ferrari.
Listen, I get the point why they wanted to add carbon, why they have to have carbon fiber in their cars. But listen, take that out of the equation. Some of the designs you get out without carbon fiber is evident. We've seen with Ferrari now. We've seen with Visa Cash App basically. So yeah, stunning for me. It's Toro Rosso vibes over again, and for first impressions, it's a good start for.
At least the only silver lining within the team. The only silver lining is the car livery. It looks amazing, great, reminiscent to the Toro Rosso that we all know and love.
Absolutely.
So thankfully, there is something to look forward to this Red Bull Cash App Visa, whatever the fuck it's called.
I mean, Ricciardo and Yuki are not going to be embarrassed driving that car. I mean, they're going to be driving a luxurious car.
Even though I don't really like the overalls, they look a bit too plain.
They are a bit too simplistic. Yeah, I agree with that.
But again, at least they have something. At least that we as fans have something to look forward to call this whatever.
Yeah, it's not an actual disaster.
No. The only silver lining. That's the best way to describe it.
And the same can be said for Sauber, which they are now called Stake. Again, fuck the name. It looks. I mean, it sounds yet again atrocious. But listen, just like Visa Cash App, terrible name, gorgeous design. Now, I'm on the gorgeous side of things because it's getting a bit of a divided response. The Sauber, it looks like straight out of Ben 10 with the colors.
To be honest, it looks similar to Alpine.
Not the colors though. The carbon fiber. Yes.
I'm not saying the colors. I'm not saying the colors, bro. Obviously, but in terms of how much carbon fiber is covering the car, similar to Alpine.
Yeah, very similar.
It should be. They should have switched the colors. Green, and where there's the green, it should have been black. So it's green with black accents, not black with green accents.
Okay.
That's what it should be like, because it looks similar. It looks okay because thankfully we have a bright green looking esque of a car, whatever you want to call it, on the grid again. Or I think did we ever have a bright green car on the grid?
Not a bright green car. I mean, I think we've had green cars in the past, but bright green never.
I think the last time we had was Jaguar. Was it Jaguar?
Yeah, Jaguar. Jaguar was like the last bright green color we've had. But this is why I was a fan of the design straight away. I mean, it is going to be very, very noticeable on the grid. There's nothing to be confused about when we're watching on our screens as well. I
like the wheel covers. I mean, similar to last season's Alfa Romeo, but of course not red with green, of course.
Yeah, definitely. And for
But
me,
if they switched the colors, it would have been much, much, much better.
no, no,
To
I
me,
actually
it's similar to Alpine, but
no, for me, I disagree with you on that about that because and it's fine by the way because this design from everyone is getting a quite divided response. Some are loving the design and some are
I don't hate it though.
not
I
so
don't hate it.
much.
I don't hate it. I don't
No,
hate
no,
it, Tim.
no,
I don't hate it.
no, no, no. No, what I loved about this team is that the design is it is striking. I mean, it is very flashy as a car, and for a team that is under limbo, that is under basically under construction, basically because as you may all know, they're they're going to switch to the Audi brand in 2026. Um, you need a car that resembles that is recognizable and has a bit of an identity sort of as well. So again, I think Zhou Guanyu and Valtteri Bottas are not going to be embarrassed driving this car just like Ricardo and Tsunoda. Overall thoughts, man. I have I really like it. I really love the look of it. Performance wise, not expecting a lot of things. I think it's going to be another um, um, what do you call it, under construction season for them as well. I think I mean it's going to be another limbo season for them. But anyways, we'll get to that very quickly. Anything to add, Joe?
Practically a transition in season is what's going
A
to be.
transitional season, yeah, because I forgot the word, man. The transitional season, yeah, definitely.
Practically, this is what's going to be. It's going to be a transitional season for them this
Yeah,
season and next season
100%,
when they
definitely.
form into Audi and back into
Yeah,
into
absolutely,
2026.
absolutely.
In terms of
Um,
livery, it looks good. Not the
mhm,
best, but
yeah,
good. I'd much rather prefer to flip the colors more green instead
yeah.
of more black, but it looks
I
alright.
think this is one of the rare instances that carbon fiber actually goes perfectly well with, goes perfectly with the colors of the car, I believe. Yeah.
Does look good. Not as worse as not as bad as Alpine's. Alpine's is
No,
whatever.
Alpine is. I mean, we're gonna rank them very soon, by the way. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm a fan of Sauber. I think they are steak Sauber. No, I'm gonna call them Sauber, by the way, not fucking steak, man. What the hell? I mean, that looks hideous. But yeah, they nailed the design. Terrible name, but when it comes to design, they 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 succeed in the flying colors. All
Welcome
right.
aboard.
Last but certainly not least, we have Haas, who was the first team that got the car out. It's a Haas. I mean, I mean,
Listen, in terms of livery, I like the colors.
yeah,
I
the
do
colors
like
are
the
nice.
colors. I look at the colors. It's typical Haas. It's trademark Haas, the colors. Sadly enough, just like you mentioned to me yesterday, it's going to be a shiny piece of shit.
Yeah, and I mean, it is. I mean, this car is a shiny piece of shit because we know that. I mean, really though, man. I mean, I can't be any more. I mean, they've just lost Gunther Steiner, man, and they got this Ayo Kamatsu guy who's just a rookie, and we everyone knows that
No, no.
this car is going to be.
Kamatsu was Gunther Steiner's second right hand guy.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, absolutely, yeah, but
I think so. I think so.
we all know that this car is going to be at the back of the grid. I mean, Kamatsu, fair play for his honesty, because he literally said that in Bahrain we will most likely be the slowest car on the grid, and he's
As
not wrong,
expected.
to be honest.
As expected. And for a
As in,
team like
so
Haas, they should do a lot better, but of course, no backup. But we already
and
stated that
even
in the
like
previous episode, in the first.
the launch was just very quick. It was soulless as well. I mean, it pretty much it encapsulates what Haas is at the moment. I mean, it's not going to be competitive. It's nothing to write home about as well. It's gonna be pretty much at the lower at the lower rankings of the grid. I mean, again, um, Kamatsu said it. It's going to be a shiny piece of shit, literally. A car that's
No,
going to
he
be
didn't.
stuck at the back
He
of the
didn't say
grid.
that though. He didn't say that.
No,
He
no,
didn't
no.
say it's gonna be a
No, he
shiny
didn't
piece of
say that,
shit.
but I didn't say, I mean, I didn't say that. He didn't say that, but I mean, anyways.
Yo, could you imagine him saying that in the press?
I mean, if Gunther actually stayed, he would say some words. I mean, he literally said "Fox smash my door"
And Drive to
those
Survive.
words and try to survive. What the hell, man?
Oh man, but But anyways,
Holy
regarding
shit,
regarding
man.
Haas, I do like the livery. I do like the livery.
Look, man, it's nice. I mean, again, recognize
Trademark
it's gonna
Haas.
be it's trademark Haas. It's recognizable,
Trademark Haas.
but yeah, nothing to. It's gonna be at the back of the grid. We all know how that car's gonna be.
Unfortunately, it is what it is.
Unfortunately, it's gonna be at the back of the grid. I mean, they've. I mean, the reason for excluding the main reason for ruling out Andretti was for lack of competitiveness. I mean, Haas are literally a team that lacks competitiveness
And by
all
the
the
way,
way.
we were complaining about the carbon fiber.
Yeah,
Haas are probably the only team that benefits from the carbon fiber because
and
they
Sauber.
always had a dominant
Okay,
black color on their car.
okay, yeah, definitely. No, no,
They're the
actually,
only team that
no.
benefits from this
I give them
because
some
it
points
suits
for.
them.
I give them some points for that, and I also give them some points for their honesty because it's true that car is not going to be competitive. But overall, yeah, nothing to write home about for Haas. They gone for a traditional, and yeah,
And you know what? As a livery, to me, it's a win.
yeah, it is. I mean, it's fine.
It's a win
All
for a
right,
livery. For a
yeah,
livery,
for performance, no, though.
definitely.
Absolutely not. I mean, now it was
Okay.
reported. Now, one last thing. It was reported that it is actually their B spec car. It's not actually the car that they're going to launch. That they're going to drive in Bahrain basically and in testing.
All right. All right. So practically, they're gonna change. They're gonna have some changes to the side pods and stuff like
Yeah,
that. That's
definitely.
what you're
Not
saying.
just on the side, but on the whole thing as well. But anyways,
Example.
yeah. Um, all right, that's pretty much it for the car launches. To wrap things off, ranking. I mean.
Who goes first? Me or you?
I mean, I can go first.
All
Where's
right.
Alpine?
Actually, no.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Listen,
Okay.
bottom. I think we're both in agreement. It's Alpine.
Alpine. I agree. I agree that
No,
Alpine
terrible,
easily.
terrible.
Uh,
That car is lifeless, man. It's
Shocking.
literally a dark void of bullshit, basically. That's what that car
What
is.
the bullshit? What are you on about?
It is literally. It's horrible, man. That carbon fiber. It's too
Oh
much,
my
man.
god.
Too much, man. It's too much. All right.
Well,
Alpine 10th, 9th.
ninth.
I would
Ninth,
go
I'm
with
gonna go
Haas.
with.
Haas.
Nah, I'm gonna go with. I was gonna go with Williams.
Oh, Williams.
I was going with Williams on ninth.
I actually agree. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Williams
I
on
think
ninth.
Williams 9th and Haas 8th is, bro. I mean, I can't really.
Okay, you know what? Let's go Williams ninth and Haas 8. Even though I do like the Haas. I
No,
do like the
yeah.
Haas. But I agree, we'll go 8 on
I
Haas.
wasn't impressed with Haas, to be honest. It looked,
Similar.
I
I
wasn't
like the colors,
impressed.
but okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Anyways,
so far we ranked Alpine 10th, Williams ninth, Haas 8th. That's how we ranked them so far.
yes. Yeah, definitely.
Seventh.
Red Bull.
I agree. It's
Red
not the
Bull.
worst, but I agree.
It's more of the same for them.
Yeah, I agree. Seventh
Yeah,
Red Bull. Sixth McLaren.
I was actually gonna go with Aston Martin for 6, but to be honest, no, actually, yeah, I do agree with you. McLaren 6.
McLaren sixth. Stake fifth.
Nah, I disagree with you. I don't agree with you on that.
Stake,
No,
stake
I
fifth.
think Aston Martin 5th and then Sauber 4th, I would say.
How are we gonna put them?
Because Aston Martin, it's more of the same. That's why I would rank them 5th.
Actually, no. Actually, Mercedes fifth.
Mercedes.
Yes, sir.
What are you on about, bro? Are you
Mercedes.
serious?
I told you I'm not a fan of them. I told you. It's not
All
ugly,
right.
but I'm not a fan of them. I'd go Mercedes fifth, Aston Stake fourth, Aston Martin third.
All right. So
It's between them three, between third, fourth, and fifth.
I
Really.
would rank them.
I don't know how would rank.
I would rank them Aston Martin 5th, Mercedes. No, actually Sauber 4, Mercedes 3rd. I would actually rank, and McLaren 6th, by the way, because I completely.
McLaren sixth.
So
So
second,
sixth, fifth. Who you would rank?
me, Aston Martin.
Aston Martin. Stake fourth, Mercedes third. You know what? I can go with that as well.
So and I think Racing Bull's second and Ferrari first, man. Ferrari have
No
once
doubt,
again
no doubt,
been the
no
top, I
doubt.
think. So,
The
let's see how
season.
you're going to perform in the fucking season, man. Let's see how you're going to perform in the season.
God be with us.
Right, so we'll get to the final ranking. So Ferrari first, Racing Bull second, third, we agree
Mercedes.
Mercedes, fourth,
Fourth, Steak.
fourth Stake, fifth Aston Martin, sixth McLaren, seven Red Bull, eight Haas, ninth
Haas,
Williams, and
ninth
tenth
Williams,
Alpine.
10th Alpine.
All
That's our
right.
top 10.
Yeah. All right, guys. That's it. That is pretty much it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. It really, we really appreciate it from our end as well. Obviously, we're gonna repeat like we said last time around. Please bear with us for experiencing a couple of issues with that occasionally, but that's the whole process of it. Our next episode is in 2 weeks' time, where it's going to be a pretty big episode because we will be taking a look at Drive to Survive. I'm giving our quick thoughts on that. We will have our season predictions for the upcoming season, and we also have our first preview of this podcast, which is the Bahrain Grand Prix, because when the third episode will come out, it will be it will be race week pretty much.
Yes, sir.
Excitement kicking in, bro. How are you feeling about it?
Definitely, no doubt. No doubt, definitely. Can't wait to start for the start of the season. Can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Hoping for a pretty good season, hoping for an exciting season, but
yes,
I have my doubts. We all have our doubts.
Yeah, we'll get more to that in the third episode as well. So yeah.
Hopefully not the case, though. Hopefully not the case.
Guys, thank you so much. Hope you have a great weekend, whatever you are listening to.
Have a good night to start. I mean, it's night here, so
guys.
thank you so much, guys. Much love. Take care. Good night.